World EX Bizz headed to Mosport in Canada for round 3 of season 5 for some spectacular racing and networking at high speed. Chris Overend secured his first pole position in the series, beating World EX race director Julius Martin by 87 thousandths, a stunning performance of the handicapped racer. The short and fast track of Mosport delivered brilliant racing with many intense battles and overtaking. Race 1 started with a disaster for BS Power Sports. Bodo Kraling was hit by youngster Brian Neumeier right after the start. Frank Anger, one of the fastest drivers at Mosport in testing, crashed just moments later. And also Jan Sellner crashed heavily in the opening stages of the eventful race. While Stefan Walter was able to take P3 from Bjorn Skotka on the back straight. A similar move did not quite work for Marcus Martin. His brother Julius, meanwhile, was battling for the lead with pole setter Chris Overend. And the pair was soon joined by a very fast Stefan Walter. Walter passed Martin, who tried to repass him but went off at the same place as his brother Marcus earlier in the race. A small mistake from Chris Overend allowed Stefan Walter to take the overall lead. Overend tried to repass Walter but instead went off again. Another mistake from Overend handed P2 back to Julius Martin. Stefan Walter looked set to win race 1 before crashing out of the lead in spectacular style on the second last lap. The German could hardly believe what had happened. Julius Martin thus scored his second win of the season ahead of Chris Overend. Thomas Voigt finished third overall as the AM winner after passing Bjorn Skotka on the second last lap. The TV racing driver started like a rocket in the reverse grid race 2, moving from P8 to P4 in the first corner. His teammate Stefan Walter took the lead of the race after his misfortune in race 1, eventually scoring a lights to flag victory. Things went terribly wrong again for Frank Anger, who crashed on the opening lap. His teammate Jan Sellner had more luck holding P2 in the early stages. Thomas Voigt passed Brian Neumeier to take P3 early on. Further back, Chris Overend and Julius Martin tried to make progress after starting from the back of the grid. As Thomas Voigt was not able to find a way past Jan Sellner, the pair was caught and finally overtaken by Chris Overend. Sellner saved his EX0 in a scary moment when passed by Overend. Julius Martin passed Thomas Voigt to take P4 and hunt down Sellner, while Voigt did not allow Martin's brother Marcus to pass him, too. Chris Overend was able to catch leader Stefan Walter but not able to pass him despite trying hard on the last 2 laps.
You got me on the outside coming down that straight, and as soon as I was there, I was like, it's so shifty whether I'm going to be able to make that move. So kudos to you, man. Well driven.
Thanks.
While Walter celebrated his first win exactly 1 year after his last one, Julius Martin was able to take P3 from Jan Sellner right on the finish line. After 3 rounds, Julius Martin is leading World Bizz with Chris Overend, the new second-place driver.